55.
Much longer then. Coming in for the finale, the higher flat race, and Jerry Hannon will describe the action.
White flag up, and thereof the higher bumper over 2 miles. The leader is Broderick, heading for the stands the first time, followed by Balco Dange. Close up is Burrows Drive, along with Interchangeable. On the inside is Little Trilby. On the near side is Unknown Entity, within between horses Peril of Grange. Not far off them is Knock Duff. The leader is Broderick by 2.5 lengths to Burrows Drive. Unknown Entity moves into third place. Then Balco Dange, who's followed by Knock Duff and Peril of Grange. Interchangeable on the inside, and the white cap stable companion Clever One, and then Little Trilby. These are followed on rising ground by Put a Pound in the Jar. Next on the outside is 6.5 further back in the field to Call Cannon. And round the outside going into the bend is Loro's Legend, and then Rural Link and Miss Corby. Final couple are Endless Pursuit and Sutherland in the colours of the big race winner. In the lead at the top of the track is Broderick by a couple of lengths to Unknown Entity, disputing second place with Burrows Drive as they make the descent down to the bottom of the track. Next on the inside is Clever One, who's followed by Knock Duff and Peril of Grange. Broderick, Declan Quealy go along in the lead from Unknown Entity. Patrick Mullins on the outside of an improving Clever One and Dada McGill. In between horses Burrows Drive and Finney Maguire. And then Interchangeable, Knock Duff next with Little Trilby and Peril of Grange and Balco Dange. And then Put a Pound in the Jar and 6.5. Call Cannon next. On the outside is Loro's Legend and Miss Corby. Rural Link. Sutherland relegates to the back of the field. Endless Pursuit. Turning into the back straight, soon at halfway. And it's Broderick the leader, back 2.5 in front of Unknown Entity. Third a length and a half away is Burrows Drive, contesting the fourth, Clever One. On the inside, in the white cap, with the long side, is Peril of Grange, the Balco Dange, Interchangeable. Poaching a lead now over 3 lengths is Broderick from Unknown Entity, then Burrows Drive. Peril of Grange on the outside of Clever One, then Interchangeable. Next is Little Trilby, and then Balco Dange, who's been followed by Knock Duff. 6.5, Pound in the Jar, and then Call Cannon. Sutherland next on the inside of Rural Link, then Miss Corby. Loro's Legend and Endless Pursuit. Soon to make their exit from the back straight. 5.5 furlongs to go. Yet to be headed Broderick. It's tracked by Unknown Entity. Then Burrows Drive, Peril of Grange, Balco Dange, improving his Interchangeable with Little Trilby. And then Pound in the Jar racing onto the heels of the leaders. And then 6.5 and Call Cannon. Miss Corby is next. Tying up quickly is Clever One. Along the side of the track they race. Just over 4 furlongs to go on the higher bumper. In the lead still is Broderick by 2 lengths to Unknown Entity. Burrows Drive. Next is Interchangeable with Pound in the Jar and Balco Dange and 6.5. Pushed along on the inside is Little Trilby. Coming up to the final 3 furlongs as they turn into the straight. Broderick asks for more in front from Unknown Entity. Burrows Drive, 6.5, makes good ground. With Call Cannon cutting right through the field. Force wide was Loro's Legend, and then Pound in the Jar. Round the final bend with just over 2 furlongs to go. Things are beginning to change as 6.5 lays it down to Unknown Entity. On the outside is Call Cannon, being followed by Burrows Drive. Broderick fades, losing Endless Pursuit. 1.5 furlongs to go. And it is 6.5 who's come to the front from Call Cannon. Burrows Drive, Unknown Entity. But opening up a clear advantage is 6.5, and Declan Lavery have quickly settled this bumper, pulling well clear from Call Cannon. Burrows Drive, Unknown Entity, and at the line it is 6.5, winning in some style from Call Cannon, Burrows Drive, Unknown Entity, Rural Link, Miss Corby.
Very impressive winner to round off the day, Gavin Cromwell, whose horses continued to run really well, has sent out 6.5 to romp home at 14 to 1 here under Declan Lavery. Runner up to Familiar Dreams at Nace last time. Familiar Dreams, very smart bumper performer of Anthony McCann's, who runs here tomorrow, I think. And carrying different colours today for the first time. The Best of the Rest syndicate, many of whom hail from my neck of the woods, Lisa, North County Dublin. They will be making their presence felt here very shortly indeed. The breeder, Tom Phelan, he used to own 6.5, and I tell you what, these guys got an exciting prospect on their hands the way she's won this.
They do. She was very impressive, Gary, even the way she picked up in the final 100 yards as well under Declan Lavery. She was never too far from the pace as well, a filly by Snow Sky, but it's very impressive in what she's done inside the final furlong. She's gone further clear away from the rest of her rivals, has improved a ton since we seen her in Naas the last day, where she hung a little bit to her left up the home straight, but she seems to have definitely improved massively with that run and that experience under her belt as well. You can see as we join them just on the outer in the yellow cap with the blue body as well, tracking the likes of Culcannon, who's in just ahead of her as well at this stage, and Patrick Mullen's Unknown Entity was always just behind the pace. Declan Queally cut out the pace with his horse at the front end, Broderick, and the winner just was plotting a wide path as he tracked Patrick Mullins into the home straight.
Travelled so fluently 6.5, didn't she? She was thrown into the deep end in that next bumper. That was a winner's contest. Familiar Dreams had won on her previous start, and then of course Familiar Dreams followed up at Fairyhouse at the Easter meeting, beating Willie Mullins, hot pot that day, Magic McColgan, and as I say, she runs here tomorrow, and I think she's due to go through the ring after racing actually as well, Familiar Dreams. So big day for her connections tomorrow. They'll be feeling pretty pleased with themselves watching this, Lisa, but
they'll certainly be happy with that result anyway.
It was really only a question of how much she was going to find when Declan Lavery popped her the question, because she'd galloped all over them to that point, and it was a resounding answer. Look at her pulling further and further away, and she's beaten one of the form horses, Culcannon, as well. The red hot favourite was back in fourth. The Philip Dempsey horses run well. Burrows Drive